Most men don't lose respect in one moment. They lose it slowly, by allowing small things, by staying silent when they should speak, by chasing when they should walk away. And the worst part? They don't even realize it's happening. If someone treats you with disrespect, it's not just about them. It's about how you respond. In this video, you'll learn 5 simple ways to handle disrespect without begging, chasing, or losing your dignity. Before we start, the Stoic Tribe team is currently working on the Stoic Relationship Blueprint for Men course that's coming very soon. This will completely transform how you show up in relationships, giving you control, clarity, and unshakable self-respect, no matter the situation. It breaks everything down step by step, so you don't just understand these principles, you apply them permanently and become a man who is never disrespected again. If you're ready for that level of change, comment the blueprint right now so you don't miss it. Number 1, notice the disrespect. Most men miss the signs. Not because they lack intelligence, but because they are invested, because they are hopeful, because they see potential where there is none, and they convince themselves that what they are experiencing is temporary, when in reality it is a pattern unfolding right in front of them. She ignores your messages and you tell yourself she is busy. She cancels plans and you tell yourself something came up. She speaks to you with a tone that lacks warmth, lacks care, lacks basic regard, and you brush it off because you don't want to face the truth that she is showing you exactly how little she values your presence. And this is where everything begins to collapse. Not in a loud moment, but in small, repeated behaviors that slowly train you to accept less than what you deserve. Because every time you ignore disrespect, you are teaching her how to treat you. You are lowering your own standard in real time, and she sees it, she studies it, she adjusts to it, and over time she becomes more comfortable doing less while expecting more. This is not confusion. This is not mixed signals. This is clarity that you refuse to accept, because a woman who respects you does not create uncertainty. She does not leave you questioning where you stand. She does not make you feel like you have to earn basic decency. And yet here you are, overanalyzing, replaying conversations in your head, trying to decode behavior that is already clear, trying to find hidden meaning where there is none, because the truth is simple and hard to accept. If she valued you, you would know. If she respected you, you would not be questioning it. And this is where discipline must take over emotion, because your mind wants to hold on, your mind wants to justify, your mind wants to protect the idea of her. But reality does not care about your attachment. Reality shows itself through patterns, through consistency, through repeated action. And if you are honest with yourself, you already see it. You already know the moments where she dismissed you, the times she made you feel small, the times she treated your attention like it was guaranteed and therefore disposable. And the longer you ignore these signs, the deeper you fall into a position where you are no longer respected but simply tolerated. And once you are tolerated, you are no longer a priority, you become an option. Something she engages with when it suits her mood, when it benefits her, when it feeds her need for attention. And this is the turning point, because once you truly see the disrespect without filtering it, without softening it, without making excuses for her behavior, you reclaim awareness. And awareness is power, because now you are no longer reacting blindly. Now you are observing with clarity. Now you are able to step back and recognize that her behavior is not something you need to fix, but something you need to respond to with control, with composure, with standards. Because Stoic discipline teaches you to focus only on what is within your control, and her actions are not, but your response is, your boundaries are. Your willingness to tolerate or walk away is, and when you fully accept that, when you stop lying to yourself about what you are seeing, when you stop dressing up disrespect as something harmless, you begin to shift. You begin to detach from the illusion and anchor yourself in reality. And that is where everything starts to change. Because you are no longer chasing understanding from someone who is showing you disregard. You are no longer trying to earn what should be given freely. You are no longer shrinking yourself to maintain access to someone who does not respect your presence. Instead, you stand still. You observe, you recognize, and you decide. And that decision is where your power returns. And if right now you are starting to see things more clearly, starting to recognize patterns you once ignored, then you need something that locks this mindset in permanently, which is exactly why the Stoic Relationship Blueprint ebook for men exists, filled with timeless principles that will shift how you think, act, and carry yourself immediately. It's not just something you read once and forget. It's something you return to whenever you need clarity, direction, and strength in moments where most lose control. And now it's available in audiobook form, so you can listen while walking, training, or moving through your day, reinforcing these principles until they become part of who you are. Ask yourself honestly, how many times have you needed guidance in the exact moment things started slipping and had nothing solid to rely on? This book will always be yours, always accessible, always there when you need it most, and you'll find it linked in the comments waiting for you. Number 2, stop over-explaining yourself. One of the fastest ways to lose respect? Explaining yourself too much. Because every time you over-explain, every time you try to justify your thoughts, your actions, your boundaries, you are subtly asking for approval instead of standing on certainty. And she sees this immediately. She hears it in your tone. She reads it in your messages. She senses that you are trying to be understood instead of simply being clear. And that is where the imbalance begins. Because a man who is grounded does not need to convince anyone of his value. He does not need long speeches to validate his position. He does not need to turn every situation into an emotional explanation just to be heard. And yet, when she disrespects you, when she pulls away, when she behaves in a way that lacks consideration, your instinct is to explain, to clarify, to say more, to fix the situation with words, thinking that if you just say it the right way, she will understand, she will change, she will respect you. But that is not how respect works. Respect is not built through explanation. It is built through presence, through clarity, through actions that do not bend under pressure. Because when you explain too much, you expose uncertainty. You show that you are seeking alignment instead of setting a standard, and she begins to test that. She pushes further. She delays more. She responds less, because she knows you will fill the silence. She knows you will reach out again. She knows you will try to smooth things over, even when you are the one being disrespected. And this is where you lose yourself. Not in one big moment, but in repeated small moments, where you choose to talk instead of stand firm, where you choose to explain instead of enforce, where you choose comfort over discipline. And the more you do this, the more you condition her to see you as someone who can be managed, someone who can be controlled through inconsistency, someone who will always come back to explain himself instead of walking away. And once that perception is formed, it becomes your reality, because people respond to what you consistently show them. And what you are showing is that you will tolerate confusion as long as you can keep the connection alive. And that is not strength. That is dependency dressed as patience. And the shift happens when you stop doing that. When you cut the unnecessary words. When you replace long explanations with short, direct statements. When you say exactly what needs to be said, without emotion taking over, without trying to soften it, without trying to make it easier for her to accept. Because your role is not to make her comfortable with your standards. Your role is to live by them, and if she cannot meet them, that is your answer. Not a problem to solve, but a reality to accept. And this is where Stoic discipline becomes practical, because you stop reacting impulsively. You stop trying to control her perception of you. You stop seeking validation through communication, and instead, you focus on controlling your response, your tone, your actions. You speak less, but with more weight. You say what matters and leave the rest. You do not chase understanding. You do not argue for respect. You demonstrate it through how you carry yourself, through what you allow and what you do not allow. And when you reach this point, something changes, because now she cannot pull you into endless conversations that go nowhere. She cannot drag you into emotional loops where you are explaining yourself while she gives nothing in return. She either meets your level or she falls away, and either outcome works in your favor, because you are no longer trapped in a cycle of over-explaining. You are no longer draining your energy, trying to be heard by someone who is not listening. You are no longer negotiating your own value. You are simply living it, and that is what creates respect. Not words, not effort, not trying harder, but quiet certainty backed by action. Number 3, set clear boundaries. If you don't set boundaries, you will be tested. Not once, not twice, but constantly, in ways that slowly chip away at your self-respect, while you sit there convincing yourself that you are being patient, that you are being understanding, that you are doing the right thing by giving her space and giving her chances, when in reality, what you are doing is showing her that there is no real consequence for how she treats you. And once she sees that, once she understands that your presence is guaranteed regardless of her behavior, she adjusts accordingly. She gives less effort, less consistency, less respect, and you stay, hoping that things will go back to how they were in the beginning. But that version of her was never permanent. It was conditional. And now you are seeing the real dynamic, the one where she knows she does not have to earn your time. She does not have to maintain a standard. She does not have to consider your position because you have not made it clear where the line is. And without a line, there is no structure. Without structure, there is no respect. And without respect, there is no real connection, just convenience, just access, just a situation where she engages with you when it suits her and disappears when it doesn't. And every time you allow that, every time you stay silent when something crosses the line, every time you accept behavior that you know is beneath what you should tolerate, you reinforce that pattern. You confirm to her that this is acceptable, that this is the level she can operate at and still keep you around. And this is where most men trap themselves, because they think boundaries are about controlling her. When in reality, boundaries are about controlling yourself. They are about deciding what you will and will not accept, and having the discipline to act accordingly, not emotionally, not impulsively, but with clarity, with consistency, with a calm presence that does not need to raise its voice to be understood, because a boundary is not a negotiation, it is a standard, and a standard only works if it is enforced, not explained repeatedly, not softened every time it is challenged, but enforced through action. And this is where you separate yourself from the version of you that tolerates everything just to keep someone in your life, because now when she cancels repeatedly, you stop making plans. When she speaks to you in a way that lacks respect, you address it once, and if it continues, you remove yourself. When she becomes inconsistent, you stop giving consistent access, not out of anger, not out of a need to prove something, but out of alignment with your own standards, because you understand that your time, your attention, your presence are not things to be handed out freely to someone who does not value them. And this is where Stoic discipline becomes your foundation, because you stop reacting emotionally to every situation. You stop trying to correct her behavior through words. You stop hoping she will suddenly change if you just explain things better, and instead, you focus on what you control: your response, your actions, your willingness to walk away from anything that does not meet your standard. And when you operate like this, something shifts, because now she is not dealing with someone she can test endlessly. She is dealing with someone who is steady, someone who does not bend under pressure, someone who does not chase clarity from confusion, but simply steps back when the standard is not met. And this creates a different dynamic entirely, because she either rises to meet that standard or she removes herself. And both outcomes work in your favor, because your goal is not to keep her at any cost. Your goal is to maintain your self-respect at all costs. And once you truly understand that, once you internalize that your value does not increase by tolerating disrespect, but by refusing it, you stop negotiating your position in someone else's life. You stop trying to earn what should be given freely. You stop accepting half effort as if it is enough, and you start living with a level of discipline that filters out anything that does not align with who you are becoming. And that is where transformation begins, not when she changes, not when she finally decides to treat you better, but when you decide that you will no longer accept anything less than what you know you deserve, and you back that decision with action every single time. Number 4, do not chase attention. This is where most men fail, not because they lack discipline in other areas of life, but because the moment she pulls back, the moment her energy shifts, the moment her attention becomes inconsistent, something inside you tightens and you react without thinking. You reach for your phone, you check if she has replied, you replay the last conversation trying to find what went wrong, and instead of stepping back and observing, you move forward impulsively. You send another message, you try to restart the interaction, you try to bring things back to how they were, and in doing so, you unknowingly place yourself in a weaker position, because chasing attention from someone who is already showing you inconsistency does not create attraction. It exposes dependence. And she reads that instantly. She sees that her silence affects you. She sees that her absence pulls you in instead of pushing you away. And that is where the shift happens, because now she does not have to invest. She does not have to meet you halfway. She does not have to maintain any level of consistency, because she knows you will compensate for it. She knows you will fill the gaps. She knows you will keep the connection alive even when she is giving you very little in return. And this becomes the pattern. She pulls away, you chase. She gives a little, you give more. She steps back again, and you repeat the cycle, thinking that if you just hold on a little longer, things will stabilize. But they do not stabilize. They deteriorate, because every time you chase, you lower your position. You show that you are willing to accept less just to keep access to her. And once that becomes clear, respect fades, because people do not value what is always available regardless of how it is treated. They value what has standards, what has limits, what does not stay when those limits are crossed. And this is where you must shift your mindset completely, because the problem is not that she pulled away. The problem is how you respond to it, because her behavior is information, not a command for you to act. It is showing you where she stands. It is showing you her level of interest, her level of respect, her level of investment. And instead of accepting that information, you try to change it. You try to influence it. You try to earn something that should already be there. And this is where Stoic discipline becomes essential, because you stop reacting to what you cannot control. You stop chasing outcomes. You stop trying to force consistency from someone who is clearly not offering it. And instead you bring your focus back to yourself, your time, your routine, your purpose, your growth. Because the moment you stop chasing attention is the moment you start reclaiming your energy. And that energy is what builds your life, not her messages, not her validation, not her occasional interest, but your actions, your discipline, your consistency with yourself. And when you shift into that mindset, something changes in you. Because now when she pulls away, you do not panic. You observe, you register the behavior, and you adjust accordingly. You do not double text. You do not try to keep the conversation alive. You match the energy, or you remove yours entirely. And that creates a completely different dynamic, because now she is not dealing with someone who reacts emotionally to every shift. She is dealing with someone who is grounded, someone who does not depend on her attention to stay centered, someone who does not chase what is moving away, but instead lets it go without resistance. And that is where the power shifts. Not because you are trying to play a game, but because you are no longer participating in one. You are no longer available for inconsistent behavior. You are no longer feeding into a cycle that drains your time and your focus. And this forces a decision on her side. Either she steps up with clarity and consistency, or she fades out completely, and either outcome benefits you because you are no longer stuck in uncertainty. You are no longer investing in something that gives you very little in return. You are no longer waiting for someone to decide your value. You have already decided it for yourself, and that is what makes the difference, because when you stop chasing attention, you stop placing yourself below someone who has not earned that position. You stop treating her presence as something you must hold on to at all costs, and you start living in a way where your life does not revolve around whether she replies or not. And that is where transformation begins, because now your focus shifts to building something real, something stable, something that does not depend on unpredictable behavior. And in that process, you become someone who cannot be controlled through attention, someone who cannot be pulled in and pushed away at will, someone who stands firm regardless of what she does. And that is the point where everything changes, because you are no longer chasing, you are choosing, and that difference defines everything that comes next. Number 5, be ready to walk away. This is the most important one, because everything you have heard up to this point means nothing if you are not willing to leave when the line is crossed. And this is where most men hesitate. This is where they freeze. This is where they start negotiating with themselves, telling themselves to wait a little longer, to give her another chance, to see if things improve, because walking away forces you to face reality without excuses. It forces you to accept that what you invested your time, your energy, your attention into is not giving you the respect you require, and instead of accepting that, many choose to stay in situations that slowly drain them, situations where she gives just enough to keep you around, but never enough to build something real. And deep down, you already know it. You see it in her inconsistency. You see it in how easily she prioritizes other things over you. You see it in the way she speaks to you when she is comfortable knowing you will not leave. And that is the key. She behaves the way she does because she believes you will stay regardless. She believes your presence is guaranteed. And once that belief is established, effort drops, respect drops, and your position weakens without you even realizing it. And this is why the willingness to walk away is not just an action, it is a mindset. It is a standard that says you value your time and your self-respect more than you value access to someone who does not treat you properly. And that is a difficult shift because it requires you to detach from the outcome. It requires you to accept that losing her is better than losing yourself. And many avoid this because they focus on what they might lose instead of what they are already losing by staying. Your peace, your focus, your clarity, your sense of control over your own life. All of that is being traded for moments of attention that are inconsistent and unreliable. And when you look at it clearly, without emotional distortion, the decision becomes obvious. But making that decision requires discipline. It requires you to act in alignment with your standards even when it is uncomfortable, even when part of you wants to hold on, because holding on to something that does not respect you is not strength. It is fear disguised as loyalty, and she recognizes that. She senses that you are not going anywhere, and that is why her behavior does not change, because there is no reason for it to change. There is no consequence tied to it. And this is where you must shift completely, because the moment you are truly ready to walk away, not as a tactic, not as a way to get a reaction, but as a genuine decision based on your standards, everything about your presence changes, your tone changes, your actions change, your energy becomes grounded, You are no longer trying to hold on to her. You are evaluating whether she deserves a place in your life at all. And that shift is powerful, because now the dynamic is no longer one-sided. Now she is not the one deciding everything while you adapt. Now you are making decisions based on what aligns with your values. And if she does not meet that, you step away without hesitation, without drama, without needing to explain yourself repeatedly. You simply remove your presence. And that is where the real test happens, because some will try to come back, not because they have changed, but because they lost access. And you must be able to see the difference, because someone who truly values you will not return with the same behavior. There will be clarity, there will be consistency, there will be effort that does not need to be forced. And if that is not present, then your decision remains the same. You do not reopen doors that lead back to the same situation. You do not give unlimited chances to someone who has already shown you their pattern. You stay aligned with your standard. And this is where Stoic discipline defines your path, because you are no longer reacting based on attachment. You are acting based on principle. You are not trying to control her actions. You are controlling your own. You are not seeking validation from her presence. You are building your life independent of it, and that is what gives you real power, because now whether she stays or leaves does not determine your direction. You continue moving forward, you continue building, you continue improving, and in that process, you become someone who does not tolerate disrespect in any form, not because you are trying to prove something, but because it no longer aligns with who you are, and that is the transformation. Because once you reach that point, once you are fully willing to walk away from anything that does not meet your standard, you are no longer in a position where someone can control you through inconsistency. You are no longer stuck waiting for someone to treat you better. You have already chosen better for yourself, and that decision changes everything, because now your life is not shaped by who stays, but by what you stand for. And that is where real respect begins. Everything changes the moment you stop accepting less and finally decide that your self-respect is non-negotiable, because deep down, you already know the truth you've been avoiding. Society benefits from you staying confused, chasing validation, and tolerating behavior that slowly breaks your confidence, because a man who sees clearly cannot be controlled. That's exactly why the Stoic Relationship Blueprint ebook for men exists, filled with timeless principles that will transform your life immediately, now available in audiobook, so you can absorb this knowledge while walking, training, or moving through your day. And it's waiting for you in the comments. If you're ready to stop repeating the same patterns and take full control of your life, comment, "I choose respect" right now, so you make that decision real. Like the video and subscribe, because every man who finds this message today avoids years of regret tomorrow.